Okay, welcome back. Elks 101, August 11th, 2025. We're going to look ahead to the Elks and Argos this week, talk a little bit about the league this week, go around the world with some headlines. But before we do all that, Eddie, Rick, Declan, joining you guys. How are you? How are you two?
Another day, another dollar, baby.
I don't know why I introed that like I was throwing it to myself. I was like, Eddie, Rick, Declan, you guys go answer it, but whatever. We're fine. We're rolling. We're here.
We're in it, baby. We're in it.
Rick, man, how are you doing?
I'm good. It was nice little weekend there. Got a little golf in yesterday, and sun's out. Last night was Ravencrest.
Yeah. How'd you shoot it?
A nice little 84.
Okay, Rick's like that, dude, huh?
Yeah, it was not a bad round. Not a bad round. I'll take it.
It's funny because I was hanging out with a friend I hadn't seen in like forever yesterday, and our plan was originally we were just gonna go play 9 on like a shitty course somewhere, and I'm like the worst golfer ever, like so bad, like I'm like
just a hack,
dude. I'm shooting like 10s and stuff, yeah. and so we're like planning to go play some golf, just rip a like quick 9 or something. Weather kind of stopped it, and we ended up going and just like we went and crushed Earls instead. But after we were leaving Earls, because we were talking about like getting together and golf another time, and I was like, "Yo, man, like you a good golfer?" And he was like, "No," and I was like, "No, man, like how bad are you really?" And he's like, "Dude, like I'm shooting like 120." And I'm like, okay, fuck, there we go. Someone who I can finally play golf with. Someone's in my league. Because I was thinking like, because sometimes people say they're bad golfers and they shoot like 81 or something. Clean, And dude, I'm a bad golfer. Like, I'm not going to lie. I've missed the ball before type golfer. You know what I mean?
Keep it 100.
So yeah, 100%. It's not my sport.
Literally, you're in the hundreds.
yeah, exactly. But it was, so I was like, that's why I was like, because I was kind of dancing around like, oh, should we, go play golf? Like I didn't want him to be, because I got some friends who are really good, who go out there and like, dude, they're like, they got the form down. Like they're playing
80s like Rick. Eh?
Yeah. Like I had a friend who he golfed in college. Like he like guys who were going out there and shooting in like the 70s. You know what I mean? And I'm just fucking muttering about like getting down the field.
I have a goal to be 85 or less. And it's hard. Like the best round I put up this year was 87. But like,
it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good, man. But I know there's more. I know there's more there.
Consistency.
Yeah, it is the consistency. And I always have that drop off. Holes 13, 14, 15, I drop off, get a little tired.
Yeah.
And then always typical golf fashion, you just bang out a couple beauties on the last couple holes, get you wanting to come right back.
Golf's like the one sport I would really love to kind of take over and be good because there hits a certain point, like you just like sports leave you behind. You know what I mean? Like for football, that's, you're generally a little bit younger, like maybe a sport like baseball, you play a little longer, like as like an elite athlete. Mm-hmm. But golf is the one where like, once you get old, you really start playing, you know what I mean? So I feel like in my old age, I would love to, God willing I get there, I would love to be like a guy who goes out and plays every day and can be like, shoot like 80s. You know what I mean?
You got your own set of clubs?
No, I'm renting. I'm boring. Dude, I remember I went golf with my friends one time. Shanked one off the tee box. Like shanked one. Like, dude, it pretty much went like...
Took a hard right.
It pretty much went like 200 yards, 90 degrees to the right. Like that shit it was like 6 holes over. Yeah. And I threw the clubs. And it was like, I'd borrowed my friend's dad's clubs. Not even my friend's clubs.
You threw
I'm thinking like partly because I was so pissed, obviously, but partly because I was like, I'm a funny guy at heart. I was like, this is going to get a laugh out of everybody. They're like, oh, look at, Declan's Happy Gilmore in it or whatever. And they just like, and my friend was like, hey man, like those aren't yours. Like, don't throw those. And I was like, oh yeah, I guess you're right. But no, I'm going to get some clubs. I'm going to hit the driving range. I'm going to, I'm just going to figure it out. I'm going to be a golfer. 2026 is going to be my year on the golf course.
So your background's combat sports, right?
Yeah, man. Yep.
So I got a question for you, man. This was proposed to me on the radio show this morning. The producer, Josh Fenwick, he's got a buddy who's in MMA. And we were talking about his buddy fighting me and if his buddy could take me. So his buddy's about 5'9", $170. I'm 6'2", 250.
Does he fight at 170 or does he walk around at 170?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. We'll say fight at 170.
Okay.
Do you think he could handily take me in a fight?
Well, there's a lot that has to go into this. For one, because this is the thing, is he a pro? Do you know?
No.
Okay, not a pro.
No.
if he's
grinding
fighting
around here in Edmonton.
Okay, because if he was a pro and he was fighting,
different story.
If he was pro and he was fighting at 170, he's probably walking around at like 190, 195. So that's something. Listen, this is what I would say. Like, weight classes certainly exist for a reason, but there are certain intricacies to a lot of different elements of mixed martial art that people just don't know. Like, striking is one thing. Like, anyone can, throw a punch, land a punch, something like that. But with something like jiu-jitsu, like understanding positions and understanding like when to get your hooks in and like understanding movements and things like that. Like, for someone who like someone who doesn't know how to fight, like they could stand there. Like me as a boxer, I could line up with anybody in like a street fight and they could conceivably knock me out, right? Like they could just throw a punch and knock me out. Like it could happen. But someone who doesn't know how to fight, if they get taken down by someone who really knows jiu-jitsu and really knows wrestling, they don't have a hope.
Absolutely.
Like they won't understand like when that person is working for submissions.
For sure.
They won't understand how to get up from bottom. Like they won't understand to like, because I would imagine someone who doesn't know jiu-jitsu would get mounted pretty easily. They don't know how to shrimp and get to half guard and then work from there to the full guard. They don't know what to do even if they were in full guard. Like they might have watched UFC and they say, I'm not going to do a demonstration and spread eagle my legs, but they might know what a full guard looks like, but it would just be a defensive position. So in a fight with someone who is decent enough size, who knows what they're doing, I would say you'd be in tough. Now, against a amateur mixed martial artist who you have 6 inches and 50 pounds on,
at least,
weight classes exist for a reason.
But
you know what I mean?
Where I'm coming from, my mind frame is too, I not just have the weight, but I am way stronger than anybody who's 250 pounds. And the athleticism and football's not combat, but I know.
No, there's for sure.
I know a bit about combat
for sure.
Body movements and my hands are my weapons.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Good luck trying to touch me because of these things. That was my only weapon I had in football. And I think of it like this. I know if it gets to the ground and we're grappling, he's going to have the technique on me. No denying that. But there's also something to be said where I will stand up and I will power bomb your soul through the ground because I am that much stronger.
But here's the thing. Like if you take him to the ground, and this is the other thing, like a fight is like a controlled athletic event as a fight is a lot different than a street fight. You know what I mean? Like in a street fight, that's why like I was obviously a boxer for a number of years, but like I know if we're getting in a street fight, like no way I'm winning that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So there's like a street fight is different. There's something to be said, but even if you get him down and he gets on bottom, like I would imagine he can pretty confidently throw up a triangle choke. You know what I mean? And like if you don't know how to defend a triangle choke, like you're gonna be in tough when that comes. You know what I mean? So listen, it's like if this guy was like a UFC fighter who was 5'9", 170, I'd say I'm sorry, Eddie, but I gotta say no chance. You know what I mean? But like an amateur who's still obviously probably a little rough around the edges. I don't know how disciplined this guy is in jiu-jitsu. Like if this guy is a white belts, like techniques, some things, but you're a white belt for a reason. Like there's a lot to learn. It's pretty introductory. Most of it's going to be pretty sloppy. You're probably not going to know how to like transition the best on the ground. You're probably not going to know much more than like basic submissions. Like one thing white belts really hammer home on is taking the back and getting to the rear naked choke, because that's pretty much the easiest one to lock in. But if you can't get to that position because you're not adept enough and you're just like, it's similar to what I said. Like if you're just, sitting there and you know what full guard is, that's great. But if you don't know how to, move from full guard to an offensive position, if you don't know to get feet on hips, if you don't know to, rotate the position, that's a whole other thing. So listen, weight classes exist for a reason, man. Like I would never go pick a fight with a dude who's 6'5", 250. Not my cup of tea. Like I know, and street fight, anything goes, man. Like I know, like, but in a control, like if you guys like rolled in like in a jiu-jitsu gym and it was like a legitimate roll, it might favor the guy who knows what he's doing.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
What about what's your take on it, Rick? Just as an outsider looking in, like what was your initial? What was your initial thought when Eddie told you this guy was 5'9", 170?
If he's an MMA guy, I'm sure is better in some parts of it and less in others. So if he's somewhere in the jiu-jitsu where he can handle the weight and whatnot, because he knows how to bring you down, knows how to hold you, I think then he has a chance. But if he's more of like a stand up and want to throw, then I don't think he has his chance with you. You're just too big for that. And I don't think those guys really knock out their own guys. Sure. Yeah, always has a chance. There's less of a chance.
There's also like something to be said, like, you've probably never seen a head kick thrown at you.
No,
you know what I mean?
I was thinking about
like he would know how to throw a head kick.
My quads would get worn out.
Yeah. Or just like I don't know. Have you ever taken a leg kick?
Yes, I
Yeah. Like, so you know what it feels like. Yes, you know how much it hurts. Like, yeah, like getting like your calves taken out. But there is like, dude, weight classes exist for a reason. There's a reason it's not open weight in the UFC.
And I got mad respect. Like, I'm not sitting here coming from an arrogant standpoint. Yeah. Like I'd smash him. I'm bigger, strong. But
for sure,
I'm a different athlete than he's probably ever seen too.
That's the other thing. Like, that's,
keep that in mind. Right?
That was one move. That was one thing that I didn't say that I was thinking about, that I was factoring in. Like, you obviously were an elite level professional athlete who played in, if you know, boxing and mixed martial art are the most violent sports, you were in the second most violent, you know what I mean? In the trenches, like in the most violent of positions.
Where you do need to know how to use your hands.
You've got close combat skills too, though, right?
Right, exactly. Yeah. Everything is close combat, getting off of blocks and stuff.
I do think this as well, though. I've thought about this a lot. I think the number one skill set most people overestimate themselves by far is their ability to fight. Like, I'll watch some of these street fight videos and I'll see some, like when I was boxing, like some dudes who would come into the gym for the first time and just not have any idea what they were doing. And like the street fight videos, like, it's obviously most street fight videos you got to assume are, you know, it's like after bars, things like that, like alcohol's a factor, but it is like the technique is obviously non-existent. You know what I mean? And so that's why I'm always like also a little bit like when people when people would say to me, like, who are kind of like roughly like a little bit bigger than me, would be like, do you think you could beat me in a fight? I'm like, well, like,
probably, yeah.
Do you know how to fight? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
it's even as real as just the adrenaline and being controlled and calm in that, because so many times you get worked up, you're huffing and puffing after a minute. Like,
the cardio is huge. Like, boxing cardio is insane.
But I'm not even just talking cardio.
Then keep your calm after you take a shot.
Exactly. Not get flustered. You want to see red and just start swinging. Like, you really got to be calm and collected.
Yeah, you start swinging, then he has an advantage to take advantage of you, right?
Because, dude, like every street fight is going to be a dude. He's winging an overhand right.
Just throw it.
And he's not going to set his feet. Mm-hmm. He's probably going to miss the punch. Or if you at least have like some sense of movement and, you know, defense, you're going to make him miss that punch. He's going to be off balance. He's going to be way too over rotated.
Yes. Not like covering his face.
Yeah, for sure. Oh my God.
Leaving that counter punch. If you know that counter punch, you can get it in there.
Chin's going to be in the air. Like, people have kind of asked me, like, what, like, if I'm ever in a street fight, like, what do I do? And I say, like, I tell them, like, hands high, chin down, move your head. Whoever you're fighting, my first thing is actually run away. Cause like, let's be real, a street fight, like, it's not going to end well. In any situation, you know what I mean? Like, the worst, like, there's some horrible worst case scenarios that could happen. Even the best case scenario is like a night in the drunk tank. Like, that's best, or like maybe you get out of there, Scott. Like, I don't know, but whatever. But so I always tell people, like, listen, keep your hands high, keep them locked to your head, keep your chin down, move your head, and let whoever you're fighting punch themselves out, because they're going to do it. They're not going to have any sense of technique. Mm-hmm. They're going to punch themselves out after like 20 seconds. Mm-hmm. Just move your feet, keep your chin tucked, don't give them a target, and then straight punches down the middle, especially if you're tall. If you're a taller guy, straight punches down the middle. If you are in close, just throw some hooks, but truly throw them with the proper rotation, right? And you'll be fine. You know what I mean? That's my advice to anyone getting in the street fight. But yeah, it's a fun one.
Okay, let's take it a step further. Me and you in the ring.
Like, in a boxing?
No, combat.
I mean, like,
MMA style.
I mean, listen, I'm not well versed in wrestling. I'm not well versed in jiu-jitsu. So I have rolled. I like jiu-jitsu a lot. Like, I know some techniques. I love doing it. But yeah, I mean, you got me by like, how much you weigh right now?
245, 250.
Yeah, I mean, so you got me by 60 pounds as a guy who tackled other professional athletes for a living. Like, there's no way. Like, if you get me on the ground, like, I'm I'm going to, first of all, if you shoot on me, I'm going to try and get you in a guillotine immediately. And if you pop your head out, I'm going to sit in guard for 40 seconds. And then I'm going to move to a triangle. And when that doesn't work, I'm going to give up. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I just wanted to ask you that, man, because you know, you're well versed in the combat sports.
So I'm thinking like, even like if you shot on me, like if a guy your size shot on me who didn't know what he was doing, I could sprawl.
I could even shoot though. Here's the thing. I wouldn't shoot. I would get close and we'd be throwing punches in close. I know he wouldn't let me get close, but eventually if we're in a ring, I would get close and I wouldn't shoot low, man. I would honestly just try to bear hug you. Yeah. I would try and clinch you up and just keep you in tight and just use pure strength and try and get you down.
A tie clinch might benefit me because I could come with elbows over the top, but because that's again, like that's one of like the intricacies of those positions. But yeah, like, I mean, listen, like what I'm like, not acting like I'm winning this one. You know what I mean? Like I'm not, you know, it's just like a boxing, like if we had a boxing match, I think that would be different. You know what I mean? Because I would just jab and move. For sure. I would just jab and move. It would have to be, I would need, like when we're doing the like pre-fight request to the promoters, like I'm going to need the biggest ring for sure. I wouldn't mind the biggest gloves. I wouldn't mind the biggest gloves, cover up. But yeah, I would just jab and move, jab to the body. My favorite, I think I've told this, my favorite thing to do was, and everyone, like every amateur boxer is so susceptible to it, was like 3 jabs to the body, feint a jab, right hand over the top. Yeah. And it just landed. I honestly must have had like a 98% land rate with that. Cause everyone, what you're supposed to do when you're blocked to the body is you're supposed to move with it. Like you're supposed to bend your knees and tighten up and move in with it. Yeah. But so many people just drop their arms. Exactly. It's natural. Exactly. And if you're quick enough, which like anyone who's like has a sense of timing is going to be like a feint overhand right, it's gonna land. Like,
you guys ever been knocked out before?
Never been knocked out. No.
On the ice, yeah.
On the ice, yeah.
Yeah, but never on the street. Nothing like that.
Have you?
No.
Yeah, I've never. I remember one time though. I was preparing for a fight, and so I was cutting weight. I was probably down because I fought at 165. I was probably down to like 172 at this point, and at that time I was probably walking around like 180. 185 maybe. So I'd cut maybe like 12, 13 pounds, whatever it was. And the only guy who was there for me to spar with that day was a heavyweight. And he was a dope guy. His name was Ryan. Shout out Ryan. He was a cool guy, like really nice, soft spoken, pretty athletic guy, around the same age as me. But he was all that was there. And I was pretty drained because I'd been cutting weight. I'm kind of anticipating of you know, like sparring a guy who's in my weight class, who's maybe a little quicker, like there's gonna be a little bit more movement type of thing. And I ended up sparring Ryan. And I remember him hitting me with some of the shots. Cause he probably had like 40 pounds on me and like knew what he was doing. It was it was also, I don't know why the fuck I was sparring him like a week out of my fight. Like a guy's got like 40 pounds on me while I'm like trying to cut weight.
Too much.
Yeah. But I remember, and this was one of like the first fights I had, like one of my earliest fights. And I remember getting hit and like seeing the Looney Tunes stars, like, you know, in like the Looney Tunes, and they get hit on the head with the anvil. And I remember being like, shit, like these stars are real. Like
in the olden days, they say, you got your bell rung, get some water and get back out there.
That's where those smelling salts come. They were talking about last show, right?
Exactly.
Dude, I remember, cause I came from like a pretty old school gym. Like the gym has shifted now for sure. Like I obviously haven't been there in some time. Now it's more of kind of like a exercise, like fit. They got new owners and it just changed, but it used to be like a pretty old school gym. And I remember, I'll never forget one sparring session. I saw a dude get knocked out. One of the coaches rolled him out of the ring and just sent another sparring partner in, like before he even got out of the ring. And I remember just thinking, like,
get him out, get the new guy in there.
Next.
Yeah.
And that's just what it was. Like, you just like, and it was also like, it was at that time, it was such a sport. Like, it was like, you're not allowed to be hurt. You know, if you're hurt, like you're still fighting. Like you don't get like, you're doing it. If you're here, you're doing it. Like you're sparring, you're fighting. You're like, we don't care if you think you're concussed. Like, guess what? So does everybody else. You know what I mean?
Ruthless. It's no different than ball, really. You know, you get a buddy who's knocked out convulsing on the field, and you get him shipped up onto the cart, take him off, and game's back on to the next. Nobody cares.
What was it like getting knocked out, Rick?
I just remember like coming back to and trying to get back on my feet, and the coach is like, whoa, you're good. Yeah, you're down and you just just trying to get back. Like, I'm good. I'm ready. No, hold on. Take some breaths. And then I had one in beer league when I was early 20s, and I took a cross check across the chin. I don't know if I was out for that one, but I was definitely concussed. I remember walking into work the next day and the bartender looking me in the eye and going, dude, what happened to you last night? What are you talking about? He's like, I can tell right now by looking in your eye, you got a concussion last night.
Ain't right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, man. I remember the first time I ever boxed, like the first time I ever walked into a boxing gym, like after I'd hit the bag, my hands hurt for like 4 days. Like they were just shaking for like 4 days because I wasn't used to it.
Yeah.
I probably didn't wrap my hands up properly either. That's another one. Like this is a really like weird niche one, but like sometimes I'll like see like street fights or something and I'm like, how are you guys doing that without wrapping your hands? Obviously, no one's going to wrap their hands in a fucking street fight, but like, that's what I think about. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, and really like getting them good, like double wrapping them, taping them.
It's funny you talk about the hands and being sore because like football, every year at training camp, when you haven't worn the gear for the all off season, you put the helmet on the first couple of days of practice. Oh, your neck is so sore. It's heavy, man. You're just not used to it. And then you're also butting heads with each other.
Yeah.
Your neck and your traps are so jacked up, man.
Well, do you remember what your first ever football practice was like? Because you didn't start till you were, 13, obviously.
Oh, I remember, man. And what I remember is because I was a chubby little kid, I remember the running after practice. And I hated it. I was so far. We had to do 2 laps around the field to end practice. And I was like so far behind. And I thought, oh, man, this is not for me.
Yeah.
I didn't know I had to run.
Yeah.
That's how that kid on the Bucks must feel. Yeah. Tampa Bay's got a dude that they're like, you're too heavy, man. You can't practice yet. So all you do is see pictures of this guy.
They got him just walking around on a weight fest. Hey, what do you do in that situation? If you're one of his teammates, are you thinking like, and he's a rookie. Yeah. So are you thinking in your mind, like, buddy, like get fit? Or are you immediately like, no, this is our guy. Like we're here for him. It's first one.
Bro, come on, get ready.
You got to encourage him, right?
Here we are working our ass off, killing each other at practice, and buddy's walking laps just trying to lose a couple pounds. And when you're that big, let's be real, it's easier to lose weight when you're that big.
Man.
You
a lot of excess.
You cut out some pop, you cut out some snacks, and it just drops off of you fast.
Yeah, there's a lot of extra shit on you at that point.
Exactly, man.
Dude, running takes the weight off like crazy. Like if you're like consistently running and like really getting out there and doing it. But yeah, it's crazy. Like, but first also, how good does he have to be to have been like drafted? You know what I mean?
Huge,
like
right?
he is big body.
And he'll never be a pass rusher and he'll be a complete run stopping plug.
100%.
Taking up 2 gaps, not even moving.
Never have a tackle for a loss. Never have a sack, but he'll have like 80 tackles just like on any A gap run. Like it's just going right there. All you got to do is wrap. All you got to do is wrap, man.
Straight up.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Oh man. Okay. I guess we better get to first one here. A little around the league. I have some numbers here from week 10 in the CFL. This one was pretty cool. The 4 games in week 10, the winning points came with a combined 56 seconds remaining. BC and Hamilton, no time left because it was obviously overtime. Winnipeg and Calgary, no time left in that one, obviously. Edmonton and Montreal, Keon's touchdown with 15 seconds left. And then the Ottawa-Toronto game, 41 seconds left.
That's insane.
4 games, winning points came with a combined 56 seconds remaining. That is, you know what that is to me? That is a testament to how exciting this league is.
Those last 3 minutes, man, anything can happen in the CFL.
Dude.
And the biggest margin of victory this past weekend was 4 points. Everything was tight. So like how exciting is that?
That's great for the league.
And that was a 46-42 game.
Exactly.
So like barn burner.
Points were up. Points galore. Saw a 63-yard field goal kicked out of Sergio Castillo out of Winnipeg. And Winnipeg, boy, talk about a team that's kind of...
They are not looking good, hey?
Not looking good. Boy.
I don't know what's up with them. Do you think this is just like every dog has its day and it's time to regress to the means because they've been so good for so long?
Absolutely. But part of that greatness that they've had is they've had that same core. And that same core is now aging together. They're all mid to late 30s, these guys. So, we know football is a young man's game. And I don't think they've done a good enough job at plugging and playing with the young talent.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I have the utmost faith in Mike O'Shea. Like, I think he is a guy who is, I think he's a guy who's a really, really good coach. Like, I have a lot of faith in him. But part of me feels like it's definitely not better to be a team that's not competing for a Grey Cup. I'm not saying that at all. But my thing, and I had touched on this, was if Mike O'Shea had gotten to another Grey Cup and lost that one. Now all of a sudden we're talking 3 Grey Cup losses. Like, I just think in that point, like he's got 2 rings. You can never take that away from him. But at some point the narrative would become he's getting there and losing all these. Like I don't think the ratio for him would be that if it was to happen this year, but there would be a point where it's like this guy's just gets there and loses more than he gets there and wins. You know what I mean?
It has to be talked about because that's what it is. They got to 5 and they only have 2 to show for it. And they've been probably the favorite in every single one of those 5 Grey Cups.
Looking back on those games though, do you sit there and go on the coach? Or you going like, hey, listen, the coach gets you to the game that you're at the last game. He doesn't wear a helmet. He ain't got cleats on. At this point, it's down to the guys with the helmets and the cleats. It's down to them.
It's how they've lost too. You're right.
It's so close.
Rick? Like, they've lost some barn burners. Cody Fajardo with a late strike a couple years ago with no time left.
Our QB1.
Yeah, shout out CF7.
And sorry, because you're right. It is the 3 straight losses. So this would be 4.
Yeah,
he's already 2-3.
The Toronto, the one before where the Grey Cup was in Saskatchewan against Toronto. Robbie Smith, who's a double E'er now. He had a huge block kick late in that game and a huge sack, if I recall. So they haven't just been getting there and getting beat. They've been losing some heartbreakers.
Yeah.
I wanted to touch on this one as well. This is good for around the league. We got a tweet back from Reggie Barlow. He said, it's easy to sit in a room on a podcast and degrade a team that's been a dumpster fire for 4 years. These players and coaches are pulling this team out of the depths of hell. This team is headed up. Don't criticize, especially if you never played pro ball. Let's go Elks, double E. First of all, shout out Reggie Barlow. Let's go Elks, double E, exclamation point. I'm with you on that. My thing about, listen, obviously.
What are you talking about though?
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. We got a guy here who was all decade in CFL. And here's the other thing. This is what I think. Cause like, if someone wants to come at me and say, don't talk about ball, you never played the game. I don't love these arguments for a lot of reasons. Like, so you're like, don't talk about politics if you've never been a politician. Yeah. Don't talk about math if you've never been an MIT professor. Like the list goes on and on and on. But what really gets me about this one, especially when it comes to sports, is like this isn't my situation, obviously, but you could have the best mind for the game ever. You could have the best basketball mind ever, but you're 5'2", 120 pounds. Mm-hmm. Guess what? You're not going to play in the NBA. Exactly. You could have the best mind for football ever, but you're 5'3", 140. Like you're not going to play the game because of legitimate physical limitations. You can know the game and understand the game without having played it. And again, I'm not saying this about myself. Like I'm not saying I'm some football savant. I'm not. I'm just a guy who likes the game. Like I'm nowhere near your level. I'm nowhere near some of these coaches. But my point being is like, you can't come at someone and say, don't criticize if you've never played the game. Like, no. You can have a mind for the game without having played it. And that example I just laid out, I think is the perfect one. Like if you're severely limited physically, you can't play the game because of how you are physically. It has nothing to do with how you watch the game or interpret the game.
And on the flip side, not every player who's played can go and be a coach or
for sure. 100%. Look at Tom Brady, his first year in the booth. Tom Brady's, the GOAT. He is the best quarterback ever in NFL history. He was fumbling and mumbling, and he obviously knows the game well. I'm not saying he doesn't know the game, but he was not a great analyst his first year in the booth. You look at some of these guys. Michael Jordan in basketball was a terrible owner. Wayne Gretzky, how was his coaching out with the Coyotes?
Can you read that tweet again?
Yeah, I got it for you right here. It comes in from Reggie Barlow.
When was
this was 19 hours ago.
Okay.
He says it's easy to sit in a room on a podcast and degrade a team that's been a dumpster fire for 4 years. These players and coaches are pulling this team out of the depths of hell. This team is headed up. Don't criticize, especially if you never played pro ball.
Don't criticize.
Let's go Elks.
Buddy, you're doing whatever. Like, what do you mean don't criticize? The reality is, are you scared of the criticism? Your record is what you are, man. Yeah. Like
we've been a very positive podcast with like, listen, not everything's been great out there. So we've mentioned the negatives. However, the overall feeling is very positive.
And Reggie, how bad would it look? We would look like fools if we came on here and rah-rahed everything after the way you've been playing as a team.
Yeah, 100%. And here's the other thing. I feel like we've definitely spent our time ragging on them, and we're hard on them after wins because there are things that can be improved. But after losses, like a loss like Hamilton, we point out the positives. I think overall we've been pretty positive for a team that's 2-6 and is pretty distant from the rest of the West Division right now.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, I played a decade in the league. I know a little bit about what's going on.
Well, I spent
the meat and potatoes of my career in that franchise.
Yeah.
I think I like to know a little bit of the ins and outs, eh?
Well, this is what I'm wondering, because like he must not have listened. Like he must not know.
He must have got a little clip of something that was out there is very negative.
A clip of you.
He saw a clip of me and was like, yeah, and he wanted to take his shots, which I get. If I looked at me, I wouldn't think there's a guy who's all decade in the league either.
Well, you're looking,
but I'm saying you look a little to my right, and things are a little bit like,
yeah,
look at that right there.
You can just look up and see that Grey Cup ring. I mean, you can look up and see I was all decade, not just in the CFL, but for this organization. They announced the team last year. So
I got one for you before we keep going around the league here, because there's another one I want to get to. Which means more to you, the Grey Cup ring or the all decade?
Oh, that's a good one. The Grey Cup ring.
Yeah. That's why you play the
that's
game.
really a good question though, Deck, because that all decade does carry a lot of weight for me, because I always, knew I was a good player, prided myself on my talents. But to be appreciated like that from the fans, the media within the league, people covering the league, it is kind of cool to look back and think, oh man, I really did have a pretty good run. I knew I did, but you guys tries to stay humble about it.
Yeah, for sure.
And when you're named to an all decade team with 4 or 3 other defensive tackles, which are Armando Sewell, Ted Laurent, Micah Johnson, and me.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty good class.
Yeah. I was going to say, because I was looking at it the other day. I don't have it pulled. I'll pull it up right now. But those all decade teams like that, the Lions.
I was the only Canadian too. So there's some pride there.
You were the only Canadian?
For the defensive tackles.
line. Yeah,
for the defensive tackles. So you got Armando Sewell, no question. He's been the best defensive tackle. He's retired now, but he had been the best for many years. Ted Laurent. So I'm tripping. Ted is Canadian. I'm tripping. Yeah, Teddy is a Canadian. Then Micah and me. So there's a lot of pride to that, man, because there's been a lot of good players at the position over the course of that decade, man.
I'm trying to pull it up here because I wanted to go through the list of names again, but I can't.
On the second team, the defensive line for the second team all decade was Odell Willis, me, Micah Johnson, and Willie Jefferson.
Okay. Was John Chick first team?
I don't remember.
I thought I remember seeing John, but I can't find it right now. Fuck it. But yeah, like my point being is it was just a list of incredible, studs, man. Mm-hmm. Like to be on there, like to know that the work you did, because you play the game to win the Grey Cup. You play any sport, you play the game to win the championship. It's what you dream about as a kid. But like all decade team, like the Grey Cup is the team, and all decade, like that's you. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like that has to feel. Has to feel good, man. Like it has to feel great.
It does. Now, with that Grey Cup, what's special about that is, I'm a Winnipeg boy, born and raised. The Grey Cup that year was in Winnipeg. So, and it's only in Winnipeg once every 10 years, something like that. So to have it time up, to have played in the Grey Cup at home, essentially. I remember warming up and you look in the stands and I saw like old grade school teachers there calling my name, old friends I hadn't seen, Eddie. And that was very special. And I know a lot of guys who have made it to Grey Cups and not won.
Yeah.
And that would be heartbreaking. I was fortunate. I made it to one and I got to win that one. So I was lucky in that sense.
Did you have ever any teachers who were like, you'll never make it?
Educationally, they always knew I was a good athlete and football was a passion. If anything, you'll never make it as a mathematician or something like that.
Okay, we keep going around the league here. CFL.ca, they released a list of 5 non-traditional mid-season awards. I'll read them off to you guys here, see what you think and see if you have any thoughts. Their biggest surprise team they had is Calgary, which I think is probably fair. I thought Calgary, I don't know where you guys came out on the stamps. I had Calgary at 4 wins this season when I broke it down at the beginning of the year. And they passed that, like I said, by their 6th game of the season. Yeah. So, I mean, when you look at what they've done, I understand it. Biggest surprise record-wise, I might even throw Edmonton in there. Like I thought Edmonton would be better than a 2-6 team. And they feel better than a 2-6 team through 8 games. But they were one I would maybe throw on there. Like, is there another team that stands out to you guys that I'm maybe missing here?
Honestly, you could say the regression in Winnipeg is surprising, but Calgary by far and away would be.
Because I guess if you got to pick
surprise.
one,
you saw a lot of people leave Toronto, so to see them drop to where they are right now is a little bit surprising. But at the same time, you're like, well, you lost a lot of players, so it's a little bit expected. But
Man, do you see the comments from their coach, Ryan Dinwiddie?
Yeah, man. He's saying like we don't have any dogs in the locker room and
a
stuff.
lot of posers,
dude.
A lot
That's
of pretenders.
That's gotta feel worse than just being told you suck at
For
ball.
sure, man.
Like if someone's like Declan, man, like you're working hard, but you just don't have it. You can be like, you know what? Like God didn't give me these gifts. I just don't have it. But to be told I'm not a dog, to be told I'm not working, like that is a shot at who you are.
When in a football locker room, you're an alpha, right?
Yeah,
like you're used to being an alpha. That's how you got there. Yeah. And to hear that, that hurts, man.
That's a tough one. Biggest coming out party, they had Demonte Coxey from the Argos. He's balling. Yeah.
I like
he's on pace to he's averaging like 800 yards receiving roughly for his first 2 years. He's on pace for obviously way more than that. He's got 794 receiving yards so far and 6 touchdowns already.
I believe he's hurt, but I like the Moose, man.
Yeah.
In Calgary, Mary Alford.
Yeah.
I like him.
That's a great show for biggest coming out party. I'm trying to think of who else I would throw on there. Trey Ford would have been a guy I would have loved to have seen on there. You know what I mean? Like obviously things haven't gone that way. Andrew Chatfield, another one, because I think he's leading the league in sacks. I got
a text from a very knowledgeable buddy yesterday. He played in the league for many years, Jeff Heck. And
I love Jeff.
Yeah, he's a good dude. And
prototypical white safety.
Oh, totally, man. Hard work.
Yeah.
Jacked up white guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, he said he's the best defensive player in the league. He'll be in the running for defensive player of the year.
And we're going to talk about him in the next segment there. Rick, do you have anybody for
No, I don't think anybody really stands out too much right now.
Yeah. No, I hear that. For nicest feel good story, they had Cody Fajardo, quarterback, Edmonton Elks. Maybe this is because we're more in touch with the team than everybody else, than any other team, most other people. Cody Fajardo, though, I mean, that's definitely my feel good story.
Yeah, I would agree. It's funny. It's a feel good for him, but how good does it feel for Trey?
Right. That's
it's pro sports, man.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of anyone else who I would throw on the list. Like maybe, I don't know. It's not like definitely not the same as Cody, because Cody was shipped out of Montreal because they're going with a young kid in Davis, who I like. They take MBT back. Like no disrespect to MBT, but come on, if you're trading for MBT, you know what you're doing. Yeah, you know what you're getting traded for. Comes in, Trey Ford gets all the money, going to be QB1, handed the keys, and to take over and just play well. Like I think you got to go with Cody. Their biggest out of nowhere splash was Jalen Hutchins out of Calgary, and I agree because I thought Calgary. This is one I really like. He got signed last October. No one really gave a fuck about it. I thought Calgary's defense was terrible everywhere, and he has come in and just been a force. He has been, I don't know how many sacks he has now. I think he had 4 coming into this week. I don't know how many he got this week against Winnipeg, but he's been a guy.
That's who I had the names mixed up. That's who I was talking about.
He got 2 against Winnipeg.
When Jeff Heck, when I was talking about Jeff, that's who I was talking about. I had the names mixed up.
Oh,
yeah, D-tackle out of Calgary.
Yeah, Jalen Hutchins.
That's who he
is. He is my, like, not to be too boring, not to just keep piggybacking off CFL.ca, but he is for sure my biggest out of nowhere splash. Like he has been insane and one of the best. And it's really, really tough. Not really, I shouldn't say really tough, but it's tougher to get sacks as a D tackle as opposed to an edge rusher.
For sure.
You know what I mean? So the fact that he's able, he is. And he's just always plugging holes. He's getting to the quarterback, really athletic for the position. Like I like his game a lot. Best performance on a new team, Kenny Lawler for the Ticats.
Yeah. Him and Bo Levi. Yeah, he had that hot streak. He's cooled down now because I think teams are really game planning him. He had that hot streak where he had like 7 or 8 touchdowns in a short span.
Yeah, he had been insane to start the season. Yeah, he was looking like MO. I mean, he's still, I don't know, like maybe he'll end up getting there. It's tough unless you do something like really, really mind blowing as a receiver. Like it's tough to do because all your numbers obviously come from the quarterback as well. And he's not leading the league in receiving yards anymore. I don't think he's still leading the league in touchdowns.
What does he have for stats?
He has 43 catches for 783 yards, 8 touchdowns. 8 touchdowns. 9 catches over 30 yards. But Demonte Coxey, who we just mentioned, he's also got 43 catches on 2 less targets, 794 yards, 6 touchdowns, and then 10 receptions over 30 yards. So he's balling. But another thing with Kenny is Keandre Smith the last couple games has really showed up for Hamilton as well. I'm trying, how'd they word this one? What'd they say? They said biggest, what was this one? It was best performance on a new team. I I guess you probably would have to give it to him just when you look around the league. I think Cody could get there by season's end, depending what he does. Terrell Ford is another guy who coming into the season, I would have had pegged for someone who could be there. They haven't thrown to that side of the field much. His stats also, like, they don't jump off the page at you. He wouldn't be my pick for that, but he's a guy who coming into the season, I would have had him as one of the short list.
Despite an injury too, VA's got to be there.
Yeah, VA for sure.
Coming into Calgary, he's a big factor as to why they have the surprising record they do. And did they sweep Winnipeg? Is it 3 or they just beat them twice so far this year?
It's just the 2 so far this week.
Because they had both times in Calgary because they had.
No, sorry, it is 3. This was the third.
So they beat them in Winnipeg too.
Yeah, this is the third.
Swept them.
Yeah, because Winnipeg at that point, they only had 2 losses in the season, and both of them were to Calgary. Yeah. And they were Winnipeg again. Like, they got what? They're 5-4 or 4-4. Let me check here.
4-4.
Yeah, they're 4-4, and 3 of the losses are to Calgary. So, like, it's not a horrible spot to be in. That said, Calgary had the 2 losses to Ottawa. Crazy league though. Like, lot can happen. That's
wild. Hey, like, when you look at those records. Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, Ottawa picking up a much needed win against Toronto in that barn burner. Just because, like, we talk so much about like the crossover for Edmonton, but you got to leapfrog that team in the East, and if Ottawa is right there with you, and they're now 3-6, obviously Edmonton's 2-6, like, you ain't crossing over if they're right there. So it's huge for them to get that win and stay in contention.
They got to take care of business these next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Double E.
100%. Okay, let's get to the looking ahead to this week's segment. Eddie, we got a sponsor for this one. What do we got? What do we got here? Yeah.
Friday, August 15th. It's country night at Commonwealth Stadium, and we've got an exclusive deal just for you. For only $85, the Double E Gone Country tickets gets you into the rowdiest spot in the stadium, the end zone. We're turning it into a full-on tailgate party with quarter-pound burgers, colossal hot dogs, creamy coleslaw, and house-made kettle chips, all included in your ticket. Plus $6 drinks and a free, that's my favorite, free 99. Free Double E bandana so you can rep your green and gold in true country style. So dust off those cowboy boots, round up your crew, and join us for a night you won't forget. Get your tickets now. Hit up ElksNation socials for the link. Ooh, how was that?
That was pretty good.
I ain't no pro like that.
No, that was pretty good, man. Not much I can do about that. Okay, so coming into this one, we talked about him just a second ago. I wanted to highlight him again here today because Andrew Chatfield, he is that left side defensive end. He has 6 sacks this year, been a total game wrecker. He is going to be matched up presumably against Brett Boyko, who's had some issues to say the least. And on those stunts and twists, that guard right there is going to be Krueger McKellar, who's also had some issues. So if I'm looking ahead to this week and I'm thinking, because on the offensive side of the ball, Nick Arbuckle, who I've been hard on, he's been better as of late. And a big reason for that is DeMonte Coxey and what he's been. But just sticking with the defensive side of the ball or the offensive side of the ball for now, taking Andrew Chatfield out of the game is going to be huge because you have a right side that's been pretty weak and you have a guy who has been a total game wrecker. So you got to deal with him. If I'm pitching it to you guys, like, how are we game planning this one up? How are we scheming this one? Like, how are we taking him out of the game?
We're attacking him in the run game. That's what I would do. The run game that has not been apparent for the Double E. They had a good game 2 weeks ago, but if we look at the past 4 games as a whole, their running attempts and the production that they've been getting just hasn't been there. Yeah. You attack these good defensive ends, these pass rushers, Willie Jefferson, they want to get off the ball and they want to get to the quarterback. That's their MO. You want to attack them and make them play physical in the run game.
Yeah. Like, I think if we take out the Hamilton game, their last 4 games, so the BC game, the
Saskatchewan.
So Saskatchewan, was it BC the week before? So BC, Saskatchewan, and then Montreal. They've ran the ball with their running backs like 15 times for 11 yards or something. Yeah. So not great. I mean, that Hamilton one obviously sitting there as well, but yeah, like, establishing a run game is huge. I'm just wondering, like, in every passing set, do you just have to have Do you just have to have Rankin or Leak stay home to just?
No. And why I say like you can take them out of the game with the run game is because if you can live in second and short, you're not having to drop back. You're not having to wait for the receivers to run longer routes to get to the first downs. And then you can open up the playbook, run some RPO stuff, some play action stuff, make these defensive ends slow down instead of just teeing off upfield. Make them have to read and see things and have some window dressing. You can't do that when it's 2nd and 10.
Yeah. Did you ever have a coach who was like, fuck it, let's throw out the third string long snapper and go take some ACLs out? Like, just go first play of the game. Let's just hit the knees. We'll take the Ceci. We'll pay your fine. Hey, we'll deal with the ejection. Like, I'm not
coaches
bounty
have never really said that, but for sure there's been chat in the locker room about like
between the guys.
Dude, if we can get the starting quarterback out of the game, it's ours. It's over. And as a defensive lineman, we would sometimes have our own little
powwows.
Well, not even powwow, but our own little pool that we would
a little money on the board.
Yeah, man. We get some money on the board, and whoever's the one that knocks that quarterback out of the game, it's yours.
Ooh, I like
little bounty system.
I think one time, like, I don't know how closely you guys follow UFC, but Dustin Poirier fought Khabib Nurmagomedov back in 2019 and just like got ragdolled. Because that's what Khabib did to everybody. Guy who retired undefeated. Really only ever lost like one round. I
love when he jumped the cage.
We ain't winning again. You ain't winning against him in a street fight. I'll tell you that.
No. I'll tell you that,
bro. But my thing is like Dustin, someone like a year, like a few months, whatever it was, tweeted at him like, if you could do something different in that fight, what would you do? And Dustin was like, bring a pistol. Thinking like going up against Andrew Chatfield. And I want to bring that pistol out and give him the. What was that? What was that movie that the running back had the pistol like in his pants and he like pulled it out?
Probably.
I forget what it was.
Probably the longest yard.
I don't remember either. But it was. I'm just saying, like, you know, and if Andrew Chatfield gets going, you might
want to ask you fellas both this question when it comes to the lack of rushing production. Do you think? Because you got to call more runs, but do you think Jordan Maximic, offensive coordinator, is hesitant to call runs because he doesn't trust his O-line to displace bodies? Because they're not.
That for sure. That's my biggest thing with it. And it's funny you bring him up because we'll get to him in the hot seat of the week. But that was one of the absolutely one of the first things I thought of, because it's like. I also think a lot of it stems from faith in Cody and what he can do passing the ball, and he's been incredibly efficient, and I get that. But for me, that's the biggest reason, 100%.
I think, you know, moving the ball down the field helps open up the run game, but Cody's been pretty good at it. And then there's got to be a little bit of, you're just worried about whether or not the line can hold up for him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's fair.
There's definitely a little bit of everything involved here.
Other side of the ball, defensively now, because we talked about like Nick Arbuckle, who had been hard on. He was throwing some bad picks, but he's picked his game up as of late. He's really airing the ball out because Toronto has to. They're behind. They're behind every game. What are the keys defensively? Like, is it as simple as taking DeMonte out of the game? Because it's been Edmonton hasn't really been a secondary where we're taking the other team's best receiver out of the game. And DeMonte plays on that short side as well, where teams have majority of the throws against Edmonton have been to those, you know, short side flats. Like,
I think that one of the keys for the game defensively, honestly, you don't have to change so much as what you've been doing lately, because look, they held Saskatchewan to, what was it? 24,
21. They
held Montreal to, Hamilton that got away from them.
28, but still
under 35. Yeah. And then they held Montreal to 22.
Yeah.
So the defense really the past few weeks has really been, they've been bringing that point total down, and they were allowing 34.5 per game. I think it's just continue to focus on the tackling. The tackling is one thing that they're hurting themselves by their missed tackles. They're allowing drives to be extended because guys are missing tackles. I think schematically, they are really doing some good things now. Teams aren't just going off on them the way they had been in the beginning half of the year. So I think if you shore up the little things, this defense probably will have a good showing against Toronto.
Yeah, no, defensively, like, things have been shored up for sure. I still, like, obviously there's still the little things you need to work on.
They got to get after the quarterback. They got to bring him down. Like, this is still about, and we said it after the last game, this is still about the trenches. This is still about the defensive line and the offensive line. That's your hot seat for both sides.
Yeah, absolutely, Rick.
You need to win that battle. You win that battle, and all of a sudden you don't have to win a game 23-22 with whatever 14 seconds to go.
The game is won or lost in the trenches, and both sides are underwhelming right now. It's kind of interesting. Rarely do we see a team come out with the win like the Double E did against Montreal, where they actually didn't win the trench battle, because they didn't win the trench battle that week.
Yeah, games are one of, like, with similar to MBT. Like, I feel like Nick is a quarterback who's pretty gettable. Yes. And here's the thing, like Ryan Dinwiddie challenging everybody, saying we ain't got no dogs in here. Like, that'll do two things. One, that'll ignite a fire, or two, like, it'll make you cower. And if you're cowering because of this, like, you know, there's potential for you to go out there and get eat up by this defensive line. And I wonder how much like the guys coming over, like, I wonder how much they're thinking, like, you know, we talk about the revenge game for Cody, but I wonder how much we're looking at this defensive line now and saying, like, this is a revenge game for there too, you know?
They're going to want it.
It's a different situation, obviously, leaving in free agency for a big blank check.
But still, it's former team.
Exactly.
Want to show them that team didn't offer you that check.
That's right.
So you want to prove them wrong.
Exactly. Still something to be said for that. Do you guys have a little prediction for this one?
Yeah, I think that Edmonton will come out on top. I believe I said it was going to be 29 to like 17, somewhere right in there, I think, for the Double E. I'm
also picking Edmonton to win this one relatively handily. I think they're going to put up over 30. I think they're going to hold Toronto like under 25. I'm going to have to re-record my video because I kind of flubbed up and said Toronto's like, no offense, I just put up 42. So gonna need Kennedy to re-record that one.
I forget what I said in that video too, but you know what? I think I said 14 for them. I'll give them as much as 17, but I still see us getting 31.
Friday night, 7 p.m.
Friday night, 7 p.m.
Boys?
Yeah, I think so. You got it right after a win.
Yeah.
Everyone's back in town.
Don't be
long as the weather.
Yeah.
It's going to be a better turnout. It's kind of like that BC where they just got it handed to them after the Ottawa win.
Yeah.
You got to win. Come out now and have a good showing. Give the people, because people will come.
Yes.
Give them something to be proud about.
100%. Coming off a win, that's huge. In a winnable game now. And we talked about this as well. Like, this is the first game that kind of has like a conducive party atmosphere to it. Like Friday. It's a little late in the season for week 11, but Friday night, like
mid-August, come on now.
Weekend,
Let's go.
Friday night football tonight.
Oh, dude, the song used to get me so fucking jacked up.
I always wanted to.
Every time's great for football, but Friday's when it feels just right, dude. I used to go ballistic for that.
Like, I song. Do you remember the Movati Warrior, the game where you get the watch?
Oh yeah. That was cool too.
What was it, Movati? Yeah.
I think so.
Or Movato, whatever it was.
Dude, I remember I used to like listen to that theme song going into soccer games. Like, I'd be playing that and like the NBC Sunday Night Football theme.
Yeah.
Like, feeling, because you know how they would do it, like after Carrie Underwood, or back in those days, like Faith Hill did her performance.
I love that Sunday night.
And then like it cuts to a camera shot of like the guys getting off the bus. Like, I'd be walking into the soccer center pretending that was me, just like getting jacked as shit.
I get it though, man.
Dude, those were my smelling salts when I was 11 years old.
I get that, bro.
Telling my mom and dad to walk a little bit behind me. So like it feels like I'm walking in alone. You know what I mean? Yeah. Speaking of which, I don't think I'm gonna be able to make it out to the game this week. 'Cause my mom's getting married on Saturday, actually. Yeah. So we're doing like
in town or back?
No, in town here. Yeah. It's not gonna be like an overly extravagant event or anything like that. But the rehearsal, it's not like a true rehearsal dinner, I don't think, but that's Friday night. So I don't know what my plan is yet. I don't know if I'm gonna.
Funny enough, man, I won't be able to be at the game either because I'll be at my mother-in-law's.
There we go. Shit. Okay. Fuck. Rick, it's all you, man.
That's what BVR's for, baby.
Yeah, exactly.
Feet on the boots on the ground for the kids. Fuck yeah. Okay. Let's get on to our hot seat of the week. Rick, you led this one a little bit.
Yeah, I jumped the gun here and I gave mine on both sides of the ball here, and you're going with the line on both sides.
100%, Rick. I can't be denied. I think both sides of the football need to be better.
Yeah.
In order for this team to get to where they want to be.
Yep.
I think for this one, and I haven't had too much of a problem with it, but I think for this one, I'm going to go with JC. Just because I just closed all my tabs, by the way, fucking Firefest of the week by me. I'm going to go with JC just because there has been such a lack of commitment for in the run game for 75% of the last 4 games we've seen. And obviously, you know, that a bigger part of that, I think that we talked about is
Jordan Maximic.
Who did I say?
JC.
Oh yeah, definitely Jordan
I knew what you're saying.
Maximic. Yeah. Listen, when you close all your tabs, you're trying to load it back up.
That's why we got your back.
You got a little.
We're all in this together.
My fault there, but yeah, definitely Jordan. A big part of it is the line, obviously, and we talked about that. That's huge. But I still think Justin Rankin is a playmaker, and we see when he is not involved in the running game how involved in the passing game he'll be, and he is a big time guy. I honestly think he could be the best dual threat back in the league, but to be the best dual threat back in the league, there needs to be a commitment to the run game, and we need to see that a little bit more from the OC. And you talked about taking Chatfield out of the game by running at him. Give it to your guy and give it to a guy who's a stud in Justin Rankin. And his numbers, again, if you're just looking at the stats, his rushing numbers are not going to jump off the page at you. And I totally get that. There are obviously a lot of games with stat lines that you understand why.
5 for 0.
Yeah, but when there's a commitment to the running game and when he gets going and when he gets going downhill, I think he is really, really valuable. And I think he's obviously a great runner. So yeah, my hot seat of the week, Jordan Maximic, run that football. Here's what we got for you. I'm going to pull up the lines for this one. And maybe the lines for the rest of the games this week. We'll see. But it looks like the line as it stands right now, the over under is set at 53.5. The line is Edmonton at -1.5. How you guys feeling about that one?
Ooh, a favorite. That's got to be a first time in a while for us, right? That over, what'd you say? 51.5?
53.5.
53.5. So 54 points is what you need. I think that's a pretty good number. I do see us, holding them to the high teens and us getting the high 20s, early 30s. It's going to be interesting where that one goes.
It's right where I land too, right?
Yeah.
So you guys are both taking a slight under.
I would take the Elks to win with the spread there too. 1.5.
1.5.
Yeah, you're going to take the Elks.
I would go over with the Elks to win.
Okay. So
I'd go over.
You're going over and you're obviously taking, I think we're all taking the Elks at 1.5. Yeah. I have the Elks winning by a decent margin. I understand, having seen some of the performances this season, why the line would only be 1.5. But I think the Elks win by much more than that.
How do you I hate to be the bearer of just bad thoughts. You just can't come into this game and have Nick Arbuckle look like Bo Levi.
Yeah.
You just can't.
No, 100%.
You know what I'm saying?
And this secondary has had a tendency to maybe let that happen. Exactly. You know what I mean? There have been games against Bo Levi and there have been games against Nathan Rourke and Trevor Harris, but you can't have that game with Nick Arbuckle. Even though I think he's playing better. But no, you can't do it. Some of the other lines here, we'll just run through these really quickly. Ottawa, Winnipeg this week. The over under 50.5 and the line Winnipeg -6. Where are you guys going on that one?
50.5. Yeah, I'd go over. I'd go over with Winnipeg winning.
You liking that one as well, Rick?
Yeah, I'd like to see Ottawa. I mean, obviously that makes things much better for the team over here, right? We're only 2 games back and now 2 teams. That's not that bad. But it's hard to take Ottawa on that one. Hard to take them on the win. Yeah, I might consider taking them on the spread though.
I was gonna say I don't hate Ottawa at +6, but I wonder if that is us being
hungry, man.
Us drinking the Kool-Aid too of Winnipeg. 3 of their 4 losses this year are against Calgary.
They're gonna be hungry, and I think part of it is this recency bias too. Of wanting to go on the over for these because we saw how high scoring this past week was, man. Yeah. So these scores, there was a couple of games, 3 out of the 4 games were in the 70s for points, I believe. So.
Big week for the over. Big week. I think I would probably take the over for this one, but I honestly might I think I got to take Winnipeg at home at -6. I think I have to. But that line makes me a little nervous. I might tease that line if I'm a betting man.
Yeah, in Winnipeg too. Yeah, that's a no-brainer for me.
Hamilton and Saskatchewan. That one's 52.5. This probably should have been done in the Around the League segment, but fuck it. Hamilton, that one over 52.5. The line Saskatchewan -3. Where are we going with that one?
I'm hitting both over.
You're hitting the over and you're hitting Saskatchewan at -3.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I like Saskatchewan at -3. Obviously, I'm pretty much always going to take Saskatchewan to.
It's in Saskatchewan.
In Saskatchewan,
yeah, boy, they're rolling
over 52.5. I like that as
Coming off a bye too.
Yeah. Going against the second best team in the league. We're going to find out how far the gap is. We're gonna find out how big the gap is between Saskatchewan and everybody else. And
like
final,
that, huh?
final one of the week. Montreal and BC. That one 51.5, and the line is BC at -4.5. Where are we going on that one?
That one I'll hit the under BC to win, BC to cover.
I like the under on that one as well. I kind of that's a good line. That's a good line. I kind of like BC at -4.5 as well. But I could see. I'm going to be bold here. I'm going to take the under, and I'm going to take Montreal to cover. I'm going to take Montreal with the points.
Going to start Caleb Evans.
Yeah, Dane. They're going to start Dane. Yep, 100%. Like MBT.
Caleb.
Yeah, I don't know what MBT is like. It's kind of over.
Yeah, I would say so. I think that one pass. I think that was it, man.
Yeah, that one was, dude.
And then it was weird. He had the heat pack on his elbow after that.
Yeah. Go heat up that elbow. Fucking, that was the problem.
It's got to be the elbow,
dude. I know we've talked about it, but my goodness, man. Like we talked about it on ElksCentral. If you haven't listened to the podcast or watched the video, go do it. We break down that pick. One of the worst I've ever seen. One of the worst I've ever seen.
What you got, Rick?
I'm sticking with Declan here. I'm going Montreal to cover in the under.
Yeah, I like that. So, Caleb, man, your time to shine. Go take that job from Davis Alexander. Okay, final segment of the day. We got a little power rankings here.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite things in this world too. A sandwich.
No, I like this. This is
a sandwich, man. This is
it.
Power rank these sandwiches.
You know what? And it's all about how you throw them out here.
It is.
All right, I'm going to start off with one that's very, very popular. Maybe not one of my favorites, but it's the Reuben.
I like a good Reuben.
Yeah.
I like a good Reuben. I'm going to throw that motherfucker at number. I like a good Reuben, but I'm still going to put it in number 4.
That's exactly where I was going to put it.
You know, also weirdly, I don't know why I thought this, but I thought when you were gearing up to before you said Reuben, I thought you were going to say Cubano. I don't know why. That's what I expected to come, but I'll put the
Reuben at 4 too. That's exactly where I'm at.
Now we got the grilled cheese.
I don't fuck with cheese really, and I don't fuck with butter. So easy number 5 for me.
I'd put that 3.
Yeah, I think most people would have it higher.
No cheese, no butter.
I don't mind.
Wild, huh?
I don't mind cheese. Like I'll eat cheese. Cheese is cool. Like I like a cheeseburger. I like I like cheese and crackers, but I'm not the biggest. Like some people really freak out for
what's
cheese.
up with the butter?
It's like I'll never eat butter.
Really?
It's one of only 2 foods I don't eat at all. Mushrooms. There are some foods I'm allergic to, but those are the only ones I won't eat for. Like I'll go to a restaurant.
Is it because like the fat or?
I just don't like the taste, dude. I can't even look at it actually.
Really?
I remember one time my girl, we got ramen and she got it with like butter on like the side because it like makes it creamier, I guess.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like a big hunk of butter just globbed onto the side of the bowl. And I saw it and I went and threw up for like 4 minutes. Like I can't even, dude. I used to.
So dry toast you'll eat?
Yeah. I love dry toast. But like, dude, like sometimes I can't even think about butter without like gagging. Yeah. Like if this convo goes on for
nuts, man.
If I think, and like obviously in baking and stuff, like you can't like that's fine because
my late mother used to say butter is the best condiment.
Put that
thing on everything,
100%, man.
On everything.
But like if I like mashed potatoes, can have butter in it. Like if I go to like any restaurant, I'm like be like no butter. Like wow, you know what I mean? Yeah, like I can't do it. The only one that I can kind of do is like that whipped butter at like the keg and shit like that. It's pretty. It just tastes like cream cheese, really. It doesn't really taste like butter. Okay. But yeah, I can't do it, man. So yeah, number 5 for grilled cheese.
This one's going to be a controversial one. Some people love it. Some people hate it. It's the egg salad sandwich.
Whoa. Fuck, that should have been number 5. Yes. I love eggs. Love sandwiches. I
like them, but that will be my number 5.
It has to go at 3 for me, obviously. Yeah. I only have 1 and 2 left.
Yeah.
Now we're going with the old triple decker club sandwich.
I mean, one of the best out there.
Triangle cut too, by the way. Has to be a triangle cut.
It's got to be a triangle cut. You get that
with a nice toothpick in the
100%.
Get that at like
red or green ribbon.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, man. We've been eating at the same place. You get that at like a traditional like diner.
Yeah.
Yep.
Where like the cook is like fucking like hands down his pants and like snorting
totally,
and shit.
I worked there for 24 years.
Yeah.
You know what?
But you know it's going to be good.
That bread is fried on some greasy butter at Japan.
I know.
Yeah,
I make sure it isn't. I make sure like don't
right into the toaster, please.
Yeah, I'll put that one at 2.
Yeah, I'll put it at 2 as well.
Oh. All right, you got lucky then, because I think this will be the overwhelming favorite. It's my favorite, but it's the old Italian deli meat sandwich.
Yeah, I mean, that's
Like regardless of where you go, if there's something that's Italian, like that's the one I'm going for.
Saskatchewan, you know Regina's?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they got that fire one. Obviously Edmonton, they got some fire Italian delis here.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, the one they have at the Italian Center is great. They got that olive oil on it.
The hot sandwich.
Oh, yeah, hot.
I like the hot.
Yes, Rick. Yes. So yeah, I got the Italian. I got the club.
Yep.
I got grilled cheese, the Reuben, and egg.
You got a pretty good list.
That's a good list.
I should have put Reuben higher. I should have had more faith in the Reuben. That's tough. Hot dog a sandwich?
You like to slurp some glizzies, huh?
Fuck you, me, bro. I'm just asking. I'm asking about hot dogs. This guy.
Hey, I love me dogs, man. I love them.
I tell him he can beat me in a fight off top, and he's making these jokes, man. I should have just said no. Okay, shit. We got anything else? Are we good to wrap this one up?
No, I think we're all good here.
I'm excited for this one this week. I think it's another dub. I really do. I think another dub's coming. I think they're gonna beat Toronto this week. I think they're gonna beat Ottawa next week. All of a sudden, you're 4-6. Labor Day's huge, but you're right there. You're in
got that, Barlow? We think you guys are gonna win.
Yeah. Exactly.
Dub.
Yeah, don't tweet at us. All right, dope. Okay, if that's it, we will talk to you guys next Saturday. Appreciate y'all for being here. And this is Declan, Eddie, and Rick signing off.